Why, you little crook, I ought to give you the works. Hold him, Henry.
G'day there, Dogman here. Welcome to another episode of My Cinema Experience. In this series, I'm going through chronologically my cinema experience, as in every movie that I watched at the cinema. So I'm not including movies that I've watched on TV or on VHS or DVD, just the ones that I've gone into a cinema, because watching a movie isn't just about the movie itself, but it's about that whole experience of being in a room full of people and the popcorn and the reaction of the people around you to what you're watching. It becomes a moment in someone's life, especially a young kid's life, that's etched in as a good experience, or as in this case today, not so good experience.
I've got to agree, this is rotten. I think it's got weevils in it.
You see, cinema is such a powerful medium. It can draw a viewer into another reality almost. It's like you get immersed into whatever's going on with the hero of the story, or the relationships that are happening in the story, or the adventure that's happening on the big screen. And for that 90 minutes or 2 hours or whatever the movie goes for, you escape whatever's going on in your life, whatever cares, whatever problems, and you find yourself being a part of this story unfolding on this giant big screen with nice loud sound through the speakers. And because it's can be such a significant experience, the content of the film can have an influence on how one lives their life, what one values. So today's movie we're talking about is FattyFinn. It's a movie that was made in Australia, Australian-made movie. It was out for the summer vacations, the school holidays, released in December 18, 1980 in Australia. It was heavily advertised on TV, and it was kind of the film the parents could take their kids to at the cinema those holidays. So I would have been 8 years old, almost 9 years old when I saw this film. All I knew was that in going in to see this film, I'd seen it on the ads on TV. I knew this was a Australian character. FattyFinn was like a comic book or a comic strip.
Favorite son, comic book superhero, FattyFinn.
And you have to understand, I'm coming off The Empire Strikes Back.
No, I am your father.
One of the greatest movies of all time. Even now, in my 50s, I look back and think that was one of the best movies, The Empire Strikes Back. So coming off this into FattyFinn, I wasn't all that impressed, to be honest. It's like, it was nice to get back into the cinema, but the content, I've got to say, left me a little disappointed as a kid. And doing the rewatch as an adult, I see that this is it's very subtle, but it's subtly evil in its content. I'll tell you why. So it starts off with the so-called hero of the story, FattyFinn. He's a kid, not really a hero, but he's the main character. And he is obsessed with this idea of getting a new radio. He wants to own a radio set.
Eva. Yeah? I will keep it for you, here, in the window. Reserved for, 13 days?
But can't I have it if I give you a deposit? Got this yo-yo?
No.
But I've got to have it by Friday week so as I can hear the test. Sit up all night and listen to it.
So try harder.
17 and 6? That's more than my dad saves in a year. Where am I going to get 17 and 6, mister?
Use your enterprise.
So this is setting up this idea, it's planting a seed in kids' minds. What goal do I want to get? What material thing will make my life perfect? Because that's what it seems like with this FattyFinn. He's thinking his life will be fulfilled if he can get this radio set. So he becomes obsessed. He will do anything to get the money in order to meet his goal of obtaining this material possession. And to be honest, it's such a silly movie, I couldn't rewatch it. There's like a Blackface scene in there, which will guarantee this movie won't get sort of replayed a lot, like it'll be buried, because that's just so politically incorrect these days that the production companies don't want to taint their current image. So, but what he does is he prostitutes his girlfriend out to raise money for his material possession. He gets his girlfriend, puts her in a booth and says that people can pay money to kiss her. Then this little rich kid comes with a giant pile of coins and he's basically jumps on her and repeatedly kisses her. And I thought, how is this a kid's movie? Like the concepts are so evil, and that you're planting seeds in a young kid's mind that trading this type of activity for money is acceptable. Making your girlfriend a commodity to make money out of. I don't know whether the film has a moral at the end of the story, whether he turns around and realizes that material possessions don't make you happy. I don't know. I felt like I was wasting my time to invest in a rewatch of this movie. But let me know what you think. I think if you're going to make a kids movie, you need to have a better storyline. It shouldn't just be about, like, let's say FattyFinn is a movie that teaches you that materialism is a fruitless concept, because the more you chase material wealth, the more you want. I watched a podcast from a guy who has made millions of dollars, a successful entrepreneur, and he has the big house and all the cars and all this sort of stuff. And he says buying a big house, a big mansion, it makes you feel good like buying an ice cream. You feel good for a little while and then you just got a house. You buy a big shiny car and you feel good. You drive it around and then all of a sudden you've just got a car. What else are you going to buy to get that feel good? It's an endless cycle of trying to find things to feel good, to get that good feeling. So eventually you realize that that's not sustainable. There needs to be other things in your life that you're drawing your worth, your sense of worth, and that bring you joy and happiness other than material things and money. So let's just say FattyFinn had a moral to the story and he had this revelation at the end.
And so I got me crystal set, because Dad hocked Mum's mangle to the pawnbroker. But Dad's got a second job now, driving taxis to get the mangle back. And I sat up all night listening to Don Bradman. He made 334 runs before tea, a world record for all time.
Well, I think that's too high a concept for kids to grasp, because by the time they get to the end, they're probably bored and you've already shown them the wrong way too much at the start. So you need to have more noble intentions at the start. You need to have the clear, this is the good guy, and maybe he meets people along the way that have fallen into this trap of materialism, and he sees how their lives are not enhanced by, you know what I mean? You can't have it written the way this FattyFinn movie was written unless you're intentionally trying to show kids this is an acceptable way to live. This is an acceptable thing. Prostitute your girlfriend out so you can get the money to buy your little radio. So the final thing I just talk about is the difference back in 1980. There wasn't the internet. There was no buzz of comments. Like, you may get a comment in the local newspaper. Like, someone might write in and say, I saw FattyFinn and I don't think it's suitable for children. Okay. But these days, you could have a swarm of hundreds of thousands of people commenting on social media how this has got no redeeming factors for a kid to, be drawing their inspiration from. But I reckon if FattyFinn didn't come out in 1980, but it came out in, 2020, I think it would be just absolutely, there'd be a tirade of bad comments and bad reviews on social media. Anyway, that's it for this episode. If you saw FattyFinn, let me know what you think. If you can do a rewatch, let me know that you did a rewatch and what happens at the end, because I couldn't put myself through it personally. Anyway, thanks for watching. You are awesome. Show me some love by giving it a like, a thumbs up, subscribe, do all those things. So help me build this channel up, and I'll keep doing these videos. Bye for now.